Hi, welcome back to the channel. Broadcasting today from the camper van where I am going to spend the next 4 or 5 days living because I have friends coming to visit. My name's Rebecca, I'm 44 years old. I live in Galicia in northern Spain and I used to suffer from multiple sclerosis, although I no longer experience any of the symptoms since starting the carnivore diet a year ago. And in today's video, I just wanted to give a few tips for how to stay focused and stay the course when you are following the carnivore diet. And this video topic has been a suggestion from one of my viewers, so thank you very much. I thought it was a good idea. When you follow any diet that is restrictive, it's difficult. And I don't think it's difficult in the way of, say, a vegan diet, because on the carnivore diet, you're not left hungry. In fact, it's the opposite. You're really quite satiated, and often you just don't need to think about food. I find that where it becomes difficult is when you're surrounded by temptation, because the world that we live in today, as we all know, is one of abundance. So many different types of cuisine that's totally delicious, you know, whether it's sweet or savoury. There's just so much temptation all around, and all the packaging is in bright colours and is so made to be so attractive, and it can be very difficult. And it's difficult as well, I find, when you are not just catering for yourself. So when you've got friends visiting or you are going out for dinner, it can be quite difficult then to stay pure carnivore and not give in to temptation. So I've put together a few tips as to how you might manage that if you're new to the diet. Planning and preparing is a really big part of, I think, any diet. So it's the same with carnivore. You need to stock up and make sure that you've got a large quantity of meat in your fridge or in your freezer or wherever you may keep it. And maybe think about meal prep ahead of time. So you could do large batch cooking and, you know, have enough of whatever you've made for the week ahead and just have it there on hand. And that means that you've always got food available, so that if you're feeling a little bit peckish, you've got carnivore friendly foods available. So there's different types of carnivore snacks available, and you might want to investigate those. I think there's carnivore crisps. I found that it's called pork scratchings in the UK, and it's like the fatty pork rind, and it's crispy like crisps. They can be really good. Cured meats like salamis, things like that are dried. If you're going out for the day, you can take that kind of thing with you. I've often taken like a little Tupperware of minced beef. Boiled eggs are fantastic. They've got the added benefit of keeping your hands warm if they're in your pocket. Life hack there that I think I saw on the internet once. Hand warmer and meal all in one. So thinking ahead, preparing your meals ahead of time and making sure that your fridge is fully stocked avoids emergency situation where you might randomly feel very hungry or just a bit peckish and then you give in to temptation. So that's even easier if you're not living with someone else who isn't carnivore. I found it very difficult when I was still in my former relationship, because he was somebody who didn't care about his diet and ate lots of junk food, lots of sugary processed junk food, and so that was all around in the house, and it was sometimes quite difficult to stay away from temptation. So that's just a case of having the right mindset and the willpower. But if it's just you, that's a bit easier. Just don't have anything like that in the house. I still come across temptation when I have guests, so I will buy like breakfast food for my guests, and there's been times over the past year where I've finished off that cereal and you know, I couldn't help myself, or it felt like I couldn't help myself. So there is an element of willpower, but you can be prepared and you can reduce temptation by just eliminating as much as possible non-carnivore foods from your home. In order to prevent being in a situation where you're peckish, focus on nutrient-dense food. The most nutrient-rich animal products are organ meats, so like kidney and liver. You could literally live off those and have all of the vitamins and minerals that you need. Also, high fat. You want to have high fat foods because that keeps you satiated. And it's seriously true that if the more fat you eat, the more you lose weight, because you're not tempted to other foods, and you're just satiated. So focus on that. Focus on high fat, nutrient dense foods, and then you're basically going to forget about food. It's just not going to be something that is on your mind because you're satiated and you're full of energy. As well as that, you want to stay hydrated. That's really important. I'm absolutely addicted to fizzy water, carbonated water, and the benefit of that as well is that they add minerals to it, and it's super cheap. And I've always got a bottle of fizzy, sparkling mineral water near me somewhere, and especially in the summer I cannot stop drinking it, and it's the best thing you could do. So just keep drinking water, stay hydrated, and then you will also feel better and more satiated. You know, high salt carnivore diet can be dehydrating at times. If your water has not got added minerals, you can add electrolytes to your water, so that is really important in the carnivore diet. So 2 in 1. So you stay hydrated, and you're also keeping your minerals and your electrolytes topped up. So in terms of being prepared, when you're going out for a meal, say with other friends who aren't carnivore, another thing you can do is check the menu ahead of time so that you know what's available and what options there are for you as a carnivore. And if you're going somewhere where there aren't that many options, consider bringing food with you. For me, one way of approaching it is to just keep it simple. I don't overthink it, and this kind of goes against the advice of planning and preparing, because keeping it simple means that you've got less planning and preparing to do. I suppose they're not completely contradictory. Lots of people only eat once a day. I personally eat twice a day, and I keep to the fasting regimes. So I eat at 11 and I eat again at 5 or 6 p.m. And what I eat is very straightforward: eggs, bacon, beef, butter. That's it. So keep it simple. Don't overthink it. You know, if you're somebody who's really busy, who's got, you know, a lot of going on, maybe stay away from all the carnivore recipes. On the other hand, that can keep you in a sense of that you're on a journey and you're growing and you're expanding your relationship with the diet. So obviously, if that's how you feel, go for it. If you're not one of those people, if you're not somebody who wants to spend all your day thinking about your meals, just keep it simple, and you can put food out of your mind. You know, fancy recipes might just sort of make it easier for other ingredients to slip in and keep you thinking about food, when one of the benefits of the carnivore diet is food freedom. You don't think about food anymore. So yeah, I think keep it simple is really important. You may want to track your progress. You might want to take photographs if you're doing it to lose weight. Your energy levels, your mood, your quality of sleep, all of these things are markers that you can keep track of and you can keep note of, and then you'll be able to look back and see how far you've come. And I think psychologically that will keep you focused on the reason you're doing the diet, and to keep, if you're finding it hard, to keep going. Bearing in mind why you're doing this and being patient about the fact that some of these changes may not come about immediately. So it's all very well to watch lots of YouTube videos about how great everybody's doing, but you may not see those changes quite so quickly, because everybody's case is different, everybody's body is different. There may be other factors that you haven't addressed that are slowing your progress. So I think knowing why you're doing it, being patient and celebrating every small win is psychologically, I think, the healthiest approach and the most sustainable approach. But you're always going to find temptation. You're always going to have to deal with perhaps cravings or temptation. So I think identify your triggers. So for me, a big trigger was marijuana. When I was still smoking marijuana, I did actually stop smoking marijuana because the diet, I was smoking it medicinally for my multiple sclerosis, and the carnivore diet seems to have cured my multiple sclerosis, so I don't smoke cannabis anymore. But when I did, I was experiencing sugar cravings when I got the munchies, and so I've identified that as a particular trigger for me. So avoiding that has helped me to keep to the diet and you know, with more discipline. For you, it might be something else. You know, it might be being in a certain location or being with a certain person that you've always enjoyed. I don't know, maybe you go for cake together or something. But there'll be certain things that will make you have potentially thoughts and cravings of sugary foods. So just be aware of what those things are and seek to avoid them. One of the best benefits of the diet, apart from getting my health back, has been being part of the community. So I think if you are going carnivore, be active in the carnivore community and keep up your contact with other carnivores, whether it's online or in real life, because it's an extremely supportive community. And just having that mindset reflected back at you in other people is really motivating. But ultimately, I think it's down to the individual to make a decision and stick to it. And there's always going to be an element of discipline when you're attempting to do this as a way of life. But it isn't that hard. It isn't that hard because you're satiated and you have energy and you have mental clarity. So use those things to your advantage and go and enjoy your life. And I think my last piece of advice, listen to your body, because you may stick to a routine on the carnivore diet, but it's really your body that you should listen to and tell you if you're hungry or not. When you're feeling hungry, you eat nutrient-dense food, and that's it. So listen to your body. You don't need to eat when your stomach isn't growling. There's no need to eat. But when your stomach is growling, you can eat as much as you like. So you don't have to stick to traditional meal times. And your body at the end of the day is what is telling you that meat is what you want, and is telling you that it's happier when you are providing it with the correct nutrition. Your body will thank you for this, so pay attention. Your body will tell you if you have any nutrient deficiencies or digestive issues, and if you listen to that and just adjust your intake accordingly, it's fine. But your body is what this is all about, and your body will tell you. There you go, there's some tips. I hope that they've been helpful, and let me know in the comments if you have any tips to add. Okay, take care everybody. See you in the next video. Bye.